Breaking on 4 News Now at 6, a former Pasco police officer sentenced for a decades-old Spokane murder case. The message 4 women had for the man that killed their mother coming up. And the trial is now underway for the former Idaho State Trooper accused of murdering his own wife. We'll break down the arguments made by both sides during opening statements.
I'm tracking some intense snow showers and a white-knuckle drive over parts of the inland Northwest. That's in your first alert forecast. You're watching 4 News Now at 6.
Well, we begin with some breaking news. 2 former law enforcement officers who swore to protect and serve families in the inland Northwest in court today for murder. Thanks for joining us. I'm Derek Dice. In Spokane, former Pasco police officer Richard Aguirre learned he'll spend the next 25 years in prison for killing this woman, Ruby Doss, and leaving her body in a vacant lot in East Spokane in 1986. Doss left behind 4 daughters. Ahead of the sentencing, each of her daughters asking the judge to give Aguirre the maximum sentence. Our Marissa Rio joins us from in front of the courthouse with their message to the man who took away their mother 38 years ago.
That's right, Derek. All 4 of Doss's daughters were in court today and asked that the judge sentence Aguirre to 26 years in prison, which was the maximum sentence he could have received in accordance to Washington state law at the time the crime was committed. One of Doss's daughters said she and her sisters didn't have the opportunity to have a loving relationship with their mom because Aguirre used his strength and his power to erase her.
Everything in life was taken from us, not just our mother's life, it took our life as well.
Words of grief made by Doss's 4 daughters were heard by all who were present in court today, all of them agreeing justice took too long.
The nature of her case had left us without closure, without justice, and without the peace that comes from knowing that the person responsible has never been held accountable.
Aguirre sat silently as each of Doss's daughters addressed the pain he has caused their family.
It's time for him to go to prison and experience what it's like to be a victim. Because we have to live it every day, and at this point we refuse to be a victim to anybody.
Aguirre's attorney, on the other hand, argued in favor of the minimum sentence of 20 years. He asked that the judge consider Aguirre's age at the time of the crime. He was only 21, and his time served as a police officer.
The court needs to recognize that Mr. Aguirre is going to be a particularly vulnerable inmate based on his law enforcement background.
The judge took the argument into consideration, but ultimately gave the sentence of 25 years.
This departure from the high end is just to consider that youthfulness in a meaningful manner, but I do believe that the low end is not appropriate.
Aguirre's family gave a statement saying they believe he is innocent. It read in part, "The state forensic scientists did not find our brother's DNA on her nor her 50-plus personal items found at the scene, but they did find unknown male DNA around the neck of her sweater and underneath her bloodied, partially ripped fingernail." After the ruling, Aguirre was escorted out of the courtroom in handcuffs. Aguirre's attorney says he plans to file a motion to appeal. He has 30 days to do so. Reporting live in downtown Spokane, Marissa Rio, 4 News Now.
All right, Marissa, thank you so much. We now turn to the trial of a North Idaho man accused of killing his own wife. Daniel Howard is a former Idaho State police trooper. It took 2 years of investigating before he was arrested in 2023 for his wife's murder. Our Hunter Bertram is at the courthouse with more on what happened today.
Earlier Monday morning, jury selection took nearly 4 hours, resulting in a male-dominated jury. In opening arguments, both sides presented their case. First, starting with the state of Idaho prosecutor.
Ladies and gentlemen, if it's not suicide, it's no longer undetermined. Motto of the case, if you eliminate the impossible, all that's left is the truth. So evidence will show that Dan Howard is guilty of murder.
They say the motive stemmed from Kendi wanting to divorce Daniel. The prosecution said he killed her in 2021 so she wouldn't get half of the $2 million in assets the couple shared. The state says Kendi died from asphyxiation, not from a gunshot wound to the head. They say Daniel Howard knew about crime scenes based on his former time as a state trooper and staged her death as a suicide. Howard's defense arguing there is no evidence showing Howard pulled the trigger.
The gun had Kendi's blood on it, on one of the grips. It had her DNA on it, and another male's DNA. Dan was excluded from the gun.
The defense also claimed Kendi was unhappy with herself and had doubts over her appearance, which led to her suicide. We will have ongoing coverage of this trial, and you can stay up to date on our website at KXLY.com. In Coeur d'Alene, Hunter Bertram, 4 News Now.
In breaking political news now, Democratic State Senator Andy Billig says he's not running for re-election. Billig represented Spokane for 14 years in the legislature, 2 in the Washington State House, and the last 12 in the Senate. During his time in the Senate, Billig pushed for more money to be spent on education. He also helped secure funding for Spokane's University District Gateway Bridge, the WSU Elson S. Floyd College of Medicine, and the expansion of the Karl Maxey Center. Billig released a statement today saying part of being a good leader is knowing when it is time to step aside and let others lead. He says he'll continue his career as CEO of Brett Sports. Shortly after Billig's announcement, State Representative Marcus Riccelli announced he's running to replace Billig in the state Senate. Riccelli has served as a state representative for the last 11 years. And within the last hour, former Spokane City Council President Ben Stuckert announced he's running for Riccelli's seat in the state house. It's like musical chairs over in Olympia there. All right, here's a live look over downtown Spokane where the snow has stopped, at least here in the last few minutes. Is it the same for us partners in Coeur d'Alene? We saw that snow earlier.
No, it is not. It is still coming down, but not for much longer. We're going to be clearing out across the region. Let's take a look at our latest image from Coeur d'Alene. This is US 95 and Hanley Avenue, and it is coming down, and it has been sticking to the roadways and the cars, and we have got a slick tail end of the evening commute here. Here's a look now at I-90. This is at Northwest Boulevard, where it was a terrible commute home this evening. Cars backed up all the way to the Post Falls, and we've had a lot of cars backed up on the entrance ramp as well. Looks like things are improving, but it is not a good night to be out. Here's a close-up view on our radar, and you can see we're clearing out nicely in Spokane, but still have some snow showers up around Meade, Rathdrum. It is still snowing in Coeur d'Alene and down by Rockford, some of those darker blues indicating the heavier snow showers. These are fairly spring-like in nature. They're instability showers, so as our sun has set and we're losing our daytime heating, these snow showers are tapering off. They'll linger in the mountain areas into the late evening, but around the valleys, we'll see these coming to an end just in the next hour or so. Here's a look at your evening planner. This camera is from our downtown Skycam, and it got snowed in, just starting to melt. 31 degrees at 7 o'clock with the chance of snow showers. Then we're dropping into the 20s with clearing skies by 11. I'll tell you about a cold Tuesday morning, but there is a silver lining, some sunshine to go along with the cold weather. That's coming up in just a few minutes, Derek.
All right, Chris, thank you. The snow caused some slick conditions on roads this morning. Washington State Patrol shared this photo of a crash on Highway 195 just north of Rosalia. It shut down the highway for hours as crews worked to clear the scene. And this Amazon truck needed to be towed after it jackknifed trying to get back on the highway after bypassing that first crash. Well, still ahead, drug overdoses have risen 2,000% in 2019, or since 2019 in Spokane, what the city says needs to happen to receive additional resources. And former President Donald Trump is back on the ballot. Why the Supreme Court says states don't have the right to decide who's the next president. Next on 4 News Now at 6.
Connect with 4 News Now on KXLY Plus.
Save your greed!
Hey Ben, the thermostat's acting up. You work for Bill's Heating and Air. You know how to fix this, right?
I just do their commercials.
Ben, the AC's broken. Come on, you work for Bill's. You must know something about this.
Bro, I'm just their spokesperson.
Dude, the furnace is so loud. You work for Bill's Heating. You can fix it, right?
You do know I'm a basketball player, right?
Bill's Heating and AC is offering financing as low as 0% for 5 years. Call today.
For all your heating and cooling needs, leave it to the real professionals at Bill's.
From Chud Sr. to Dick Wendell, to Kristen and myself.
And now to our kids. Our goal is to help people drive for generations.
From roll-up windows to power everything. From stick to automatic. From gas to electric.
No one can totally predict what technology is coming our way.
But I can guarantee we will be here before and after the sale, giving you the confidence for generations to come.
That's the Wendell Way. Drive for generations.
It's Coeur d'Alene Casino's Core Stars Entertainment Series. 38 specials, timeless blast of Southern rock hits. Live Thursday, April 18th.
Damn straight.
Don't miss Scotty McCreery, one of country music's biggest stars, live Thursday, May 2nd. It's No Holds Barred Entertainment at King of the Cage, featuring upcoming MMA stars on Thursday, June 13th. Visit CDAcasino.com to buy your tickets now and check out the full Core Stars lineup.
Winning is just the beginning.
What's better than the perfect cut of meat for a tasty meal? That's easy. The perfect cut of meat on sale.
Super One Foods 12-hour meat sale this Thursday only with great savings on USDA Choice Angus Beef New York Steak, $7.98 a pound. Boneless pork loin roast, $1.98 a pound. And visit your Super One Foods meat department for even more great savings in store.
Super One Foods 12-hour meat sale this Thursday only. The savings are sizzling.
Essentially, you cannot take somebody out of a race because an opponent would like to have it that way.
That was former President Donald Trump reacting to the news that his name will remain on the ballot in Colorado following a Supreme Court decision. Multiple states tried to have him removed, citing a section of the 14th Amendment. This comes a day ahead of Super Tuesday, where 16 states will be holding their primary elections. ABC's Perry Russum has more.
Today, a unanimous decision from the Supreme Court. Former President Trump stays on the ballot.
It's a very important decision. We're very well crafted, and I think it will go a long way toward bringing our country together.
The case surrounds Colorado Supreme Court's decision to disqualify Trump from his primary ballot, citing Section 3 of the 14th Amendment. The section reads, no one who has taken an oath to support the Constitution and then engaged in insurrection can hold public office afterward. In today's decision, the justice is writing, the Constitution makes Congress rather than the states responsible for enforcing Section 3. Jason Murray defended Colorado's decision in front of the Supreme Court.
Even though it made procedural determinations that Colorado as a state couldn't enforce Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, the issue of Donald Trump's eligibility for the office of the presidency remains very much a live issue.
Colorado Secretary of State expressing disappointment over the ruling, writing, Colorado should be able to bar oath-breaking insurrections from our ballot. The ruling has implications nationwide, with both Maine and Illinois now forced to put Trump back on the ballot after kicking him off.
I think this opinion puts those to rest.
Trump already focusing on his next Supreme Court case regarding presidential immunity.
If a president doesn't have full immunity, you really don't have a president, because nobody that is serving in that office will have the courage to make, in many cases, what would be the right decision.
That case on presidential immunity will decide whether or not Trump can be prosecuted for his actions as president surrounding January 6th. He's pleaded not guilty. Arguments are scheduled to be heard on that case at the Supreme Court next month. Perry Russum, ABC News, Washington.
Some fog to start the day on Tuesday. Otherwise, expect sunshine. Still the possibility of an isolated valley shower, but most of the snow is going to stay in the mountains. High temperature of 39, not quite up to average, but there is a warming trend in the 7-day forecast. I'll tell you about it after the break.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
PAR, family owned since 1930. Go where the builders go.
What are you going to build?
So what do you think about these?
We like this one.
Yeah, we love that.
When it's time for an update or complete remodel, Rebath is with you every step of the way.
We're going to take everything down to the
From design and products to removal and installation, we handle the entire process to create a beautiful and functional bathroom for whatever your life needs.
Honey, you were right. Turned out.
Rebath, with you every step of the way. Call us or visit rebath.com and save $1,500 off your complete bathroom remodel.
When I was told I had a brain tumor, my life disappeared in a moment. I feared for my future, but even more, I feared for the ones I love. How would they move on without me? But when my doctor told me about the Gamma Knife of Spokane, everything changed. I can get my brain tumor treated in just one day and continue living the life I love. Because of Gamma Knife, I have hope.
All aboard, sisters! The sequel to the smash hit Menopause the Musical is about to set sail. Cruising through the change is the can't-miss ultimate girls' night out. Menopause the Musical has been seen by more than 17 million fans worldwide. This hilarious sequel features parodies of your favorite hits from the 70s, 80s, and 90s.
Coming to Spokane on March 23rd for one performance at First Interstate Center for the Arts. Tickets at BroadwaySpokane.com.
May I please have the Cobb salad, no cheese, no bacon, extra tomatoes, cucumbers, peppers, and dressing on the side? Do you have Picheline olives?
Wow, that is an order.
Perfect. I like things the way I like them.
It makes sense. At the Advocates, we're just as picky about what we demand for our clients.
Our clients deserve what they deserve.
Exactly. We won't stand for anything less.
Now, for dessert,
Oh, no.
I'll have the white chocolate.
Injured? You deserve justice. You deserve an advocate.
Hi, I'm Bruce Shaver. These are my two sons, Gary and John, and we built this deck. We won't settle for anything less than contractor grade.
So we get all of our building materials and supplies from Par.
Par, family owned since 1930. Go where the builders go.
What are you gonna build?
All right, welcome back. We have had an active weather day once again today, and it's calmed down here in Spokane, but you showed it earlier. Our friends on the other side of the state line are getting hit pretty hard.
Yes, Coeur d'Alene, it's snowing and snowing and snowing, and it was here too, but we have cleared off in Spokane, and you'll notice nothing sticking to the parking lots and streets in Spokane. Now, all of that wet pavement that you see there is going to be freezing, and nice clearing there over the Spokane Veterans Memorial Arena right now. Now, here is our time lapse. I want to show you this to see what kind of wild day we've had. We had snow and then blue sky and then another round of snow and then blue sky again and then a really big round of snow that knocked the whole filled the whole camera lens and stopped our time lapse. But now we're starting to clear off again, and we'll likely be done with the snow right in Spokane. Maybe a flurry or two, but things are starting to taper off. Still finding that snow from Rockford Bay up through Coeur d'Alene, Hayden, and Rathdrum. Out on the Piome Prairie, the Meade area, we're seeing the snow. It is not as intense as it was earlier this evening. This is convective snow showers. They will be tapering off as we lose our daytime heating. And then we really lose our daytime heating. As skies clear, it is going to be a cold night. Still the possibility of isolated snow showers both tonight as well as tomorrow, mainly over the higher terrain. Otherwise, we'll get some more blue sky going and a warming trend. It doesn't start tomorrow, but toward the end of the week, we're going to be back up around average. Here's a look at our forecast radar. The last of those instability showers coming to an end by later this evening, other than in the mountain areas. Tomorrow morning, we have a system passing by to our south that may bring a little bit of light snow down on southern portions of the Palouse into the central panhandle, and wouldn't rule out in the instability of the day an isolated snow shower elsewhere. But for the most part, we're going to be staying dry. Here's a look at our weather pattern, the overall situation. We have this northerly flow, northwesterly flow over the inland northwest that's keeping the things cool for the next couple of days. But then as we get into Thursday, Friday, we start to see high pressure building over the region, and that is going to send our temperatures back up around average before the next system moves in. That looks like it's bringing mostly rain to the valleys and some mountain snow. Overnight lows tomorrow morning, we are going to be down in the teens and 20s. A closer look shows a few more teens right around Spokane. Deer Park 18, Spirit Lake 15, 18 in Hayden, and 19 in Post Falls. So yes, very slick roads as all of the wet roads and sidewalks freeze. Tuesday's highs will be running above average, but with all that sunshine and temperatures above freezing, we'll have no trouble melting any remaining snow on the roads. We'll stay in the upper 30s on Wednesday with more sunshine, some cold nights, up to 45 on Friday, and then we are back in the wet weather business for the weekend and especially into early next week, but it looks more like rain than snow down in the valleys, Derek.
All right, Chris, thank you. For the second time in as many weeks, lawmakers are scrambling to avoid a partial shutdown. After months of averting shutdowns at the last minute, negotiators may finally have reached a critical compromise. CNN's Mike Valerio explains the major breakthrough.
On the heels of yet another short-term funding deal to keep the government open.
A shutdown is a loser for the American people.
Finally, a breakthrough on Capitol Hill. Top lawmakers unveiling a slate of 6 bipartisan appropriations bills Sunday evening that will avert another looming shutdown while delivering necessary funds to government agencies and departments, including military and veterans affairs, agriculture, commerce, transportation, energy, and housing, among others. Both sides touting big wins. Democratic Senator Patty Murray says the package fully funds the WIC program, which provides nutrition assistance to women and children, while Republican House Speaker Mike Johnson celebrated some conservative victories, including cuts to agencies like the FBI and EPA. The package also includes important investments in hiring new air traffic controllers and rail safety inspectors, and funds veteran health benefits. But even as the two parties come together to keep the government operational, the funding feud isn't over. Lawmakers still need to address their impasse over border security and critical aid to Ukraine, Israel, and Gaza after bipartisan legislation failed to pass last month.
We're getting the government funding done, and then we're going to turn to these other priorities. We can walk and chew gum at the same time.
Lawmakers have until March 22nd to pass the deal and keep the government funded for the rest of the fiscal year. I'm Mike Valerio reporting.
Well, still ahead, gas prices are once again on the rise. What could be causing it? Next on 4 News Now.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Mississauga Casino Hotel is opening Friday, March 8th. Plus, our 4,000 square foot event center will be available for you to book your future meetings or events. Mississauga Casino Hotel.
Now that's Montana Sapphire from Phillipsburg, Montana.
This is not just laundry. This is laundry that's one and done. This is the ultra-fast combo laundry machine that does both washing and drying cycles. This is revolutionizing laundry. This is GE Profile.
Fred's has the GE Profile one and done laundry machine in stock and on sale for only $24.99. Fred's Appliance. We sell appliances, only appliances.
Choosing countertops is one of the biggest decisions that you make during a kitchen remodel, and my husband and I thought that we would have to go to Seattle to find what we wanted. A friend recommended that we try Granite Concepts in Lewiston, and the people at Granite Concepts were amazing. They were friendly and straightforward and helped us find exactly the countertops that we wanted.
Granite Concepts. Beauty set in stone.
Adventure awaits at Silver Mountain Resort this winter. Enjoy some of the best terrain in the region, only 30 minutes east of Coeur d'Alene, right off I-90. Family, friends, and smiles as big as the wide-open vistas. Relax in a beautiful condo just a stroll away from dining, water slides, indoor surfing, and 84 degrees. And a gondola ride away from our new covered carpet lift, tubing, and acres of snow rider heaven. Your winter adventure awaits at Silver Mountain. Book today at silvermt.com.
Mississauga Casino Hotel is opening Friday, March 8th. Plus, our 4,000 square foot event center will be available for you to book your future meetings or events. Mississauga Casino Hotel.
4 News Now is brought to you by Move Fitness.
Fire crews in Texas are still trying to contain the largest wildfire in state history, burning more than 1 million acres. Thousands of livestock have been lost and hundreds of homes and other structures decimated.
Our ranchers and our homeowners are hurting deeply.
For many cattle that have survived so far, there's no grass to eat and no water.
We've got over 120 miles of electric lines burnt and on the ground. That means these people have no electricity. There's no water to pump for the livestock.
Fire crews in Texas are banking on cooler temperatures in the region Monday to give them an edge over the wildfires, with Oklahoma Forestry Services saying they'll turn over the perimeter of the largest fire, the Smokehouse Creek fire, to local departments in their state for containment. Gas prices, once again, slowly starting to creep up, with the national average now $3.35 a gallon. That's up 7 cents from last week, according to AAA. Here in the Inland Northwest, though, you can expect to pay around $3.78 in Spokane County and $3.29 in Kootenai County. AAA estimates prices will likely continue to rise as people start heading out of town for a spring break. According to the Energy Information Administration, gas demand has increased as total supply has dropped over the last few weeks. Speaking of spring break, Washington State Patrol says it'll be cracking down on reckless driving as students travel over break. That includes things like speeding, distracted driving, and impaired driving. The FAA has found multiple instances of quality control issues at Boeing following a 6-week audit. The audit came after the in-flight door plug blowout on that Alaska Airlines Boeing 737 MAX 9 in January. FAA investigators found non-compliance issues in multiple areas of Boeing's operation. This is in addition to a separate report released last month that found gaps in Boeing's safety culture. The FAA gave Boeing 90 days to produce a quality improvement plan to fix these issues. Well, around the world tonight, world leaders, including the vice president, are calling for a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas so aid can be given to the tens of thousands of civilians still in Gaza. ABC's Rena Roy gives us a look at some of the innocent people impacted by this war.
A strong message from Vice President Kamala Harris as the humanitarian crisis grows in Gaza.
The immense scale of suffering in Gaza, there must be an immediate ceasefire.
Hospital officials say this 9-year-old boy with cerebral palsy died in Rafah because he didn't have access to the customized diet that he needed due to ongoing fighting. His father sharing a picture of his son, saying when the war broke out, everything was cut off from him and his condition deteriorated. Harris meeting Monday with Israeli War Cabinet member Benny Gantz, saying the Israeli government must allow more crucial aid into Gaza as it continues its barrage against Hamas.
Priorities that certainly we have, which includes getting a hostage deal done, getting aid in, and then getting that 6-week ceasefire.
Israeli officials denying reports of starvation in an interview with ABC's Tom Sufi Burridge, but say they're working to ensure the aid does not end up in the hands of Hamas.
People in Gaza right now are starving to death, and you're not letting enough aid trucks reach those people in need.
First of all, people are not starving to death in Gaza.
Well, the UN says they are.
I beg to differ. At any rate, Israel is enabling thousands of trucks to get into Gaza.
The U.S. conducting its first aid drop over the weekend, delivering 38,000 ready-to-eat meals. The Pentagon saying there are plans for more deliveries. Last week, more than 100 people killed in a scramble towards aid trucks in Rafah. Israeli officials saying soldiers fired shots toward the crowd, but say most were crushed. A UN team visiting a local hospital saying a large number of the injured had gunshot wounds.
UNICEF warning child deaths are likely to rapidly increase unless obstacles to humanitarian relief are immediately resolved. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Well, new details on the crash that left one Washington State Patrol trooper dead, with the suspect admitted to investigators, coming up.
Spokane County has seen a 2,000% increase in drug overdoses since 2019. How city officials are looking to address this crisis, coming up.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Classic roast beef and crispy fish? Just 2 for $6? If Arby's wasn't already at Arby's, it'd be on its way to Arby's right now. Arby's, we have the meat.
Fife, Honeycutt,
different uniforms, one sweet ride. It's BJ and Barney on MASH, followed by the Andy Griffith Show.
Watch MeTV Spokane Coeur d'Alene weeknights on MeTV 4.2.
This March, we're celebrating our 29th anniversary at the Kootenai Casino. We're having a blowout anniversary celebration, and you are invited. With March deals on rooms, dining, and the spa, along with huge cash and bonus play prizes all month long. Stay at the Kootenai Falls Lodge midweek, starting at just $69, or upgrade to a Riverview room for $89. Come on in for the win. Book your getaway today. Call 888-YOU-ARE-LUCKY or visit KootenaiRiverInn.com.
From Chud Sr. to Dick Wendell, to Kristen and myself.
And now to our kids. Our goal is to help people drive for generations.
From roll-up windows to power everything. From stick to automatic. From gas to electric.
No one can totally predict what technology is coming our way.
But I can guarantee we will be here before and after the sale, giving you the confidence for generations to come.
That's the Wendell way. Drive for generations.
Take advantage of the tax credits you can, including the annual Washington State Working Families Tax Credit. You can get money back on state taxes already paid. Visit workingfamiliescredit.wa.gov.
Oh, Arby's brown sugar bacon. You always know just what to say. Arby's, we have the meat.
Next, E.T. We're rocking out with the all-star cast of Kung Fu Panda 4.
Nunchuck Hero!
And rocking the block with Ty Pennington.
I love it.
Next, E.T.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Entertainment Tonight at 7:30.
Thursday morning on
Good Morning America.
Garth Brooks has something super special to share.
This is just too cool. I cannot wait to show you.
And he's sharing it with Robin and you.
Robin Roberts, me, and GMA. I'm so excited. Let's do this.
Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now at 6:30.
Welcome back to 4 News Now. This is a story we've been following for months now. Skyrocketing overdoses could have the city of Spokane on the verge of declaring a public health emergency. From 2019 to 2022, overdose deaths have increased by 2,000%, and it doesn't seem to be getting any better. Bronte Sorotsky joins us live from downtown Spokane with the city's response to this crisis.
Well, Derek, Council President Betsy Wilkerson says that the community has been asking for them to do more to combat this fentanyl crisis, and that includes possibly declaring a public health emergency.
Our community's asking us to declare a fentanyl crisis.
This as Spokane County sees a 2,000% increase in overdose deaths since 2019. Dr. Bob Lutz, who was formerly the Spokane Regional Health District's health officer, relayed some grim statistics to Spokane City Council members Monday.
Looking at synthetic opioids, primarily fentanyl, that you can see going from 2018 to 2023, an exponential increase.
An increase that he expects will continue to grow. Paramedics with the Spokane Fire Department are reviving people with Narcan every day.
We average about 2.2 doses per day that we deliver.
This past month, the Spokane Fire Department started rolling out a new drug to combat this crisis, Suboxone. It's an opioid, but instead of getting a person high, it relieves them of withdrawal symptoms. It's optional to the person overdosing.
We had no instances yet of having anybody that met the qualifications for that study.
As the drug crisis in Spokane worsens, Dr. Lutz recommends any clinicians prescribing patients start carrying Narcan on them.
I think everyone should be comfortable and familiar with, because again, naloxone saves lives.
Especially with the majority of overdose deaths in Washington happening in the Lilac City.
Spokane exceeds that for the state.
Now, we did reach out to Mayor Lisa Brown's office about a potential timeline for possibly declaring a public health emergency. She says that they are talking with council members, but they haven't decided on anything just yet. Reporting live in Spokane, Bronte Sorotsky, 4 News Now.
All right, Bronte, thank you. Medical Lake Mayor Terry Cooper is joining the long list of people hoping to represent Eastern Washington on Capitol Hill next year. She'll be running as a Republican for Washington's 5th legislative district. She'll be up against Spokane City Council member Jonathan Bingle, State Representative Jacqueline Maycumber, former state senator and current Spokane County Treasurer Michael Baumgartner, and several other candidates. That seat, of course, is currently held by Kathy McMorris Rogers, who announced she is not running for re-election. Registration for Hoop Fest is officially open now. The largest 3-on-3 basketball tournament will take over downtown Spokane on June 29th and 30th. The tournament has been bringing players in from all over the country and the world for decades. The city of Spokane shuts down 45 city blocks for the tournament. To register your team or to apply to be a volunteer, you can find the link to sign up inside this story on our website, KXLY.com. All right, let's take another look at downtown Spokane, where that snow ended, about an hour ago, I guess, but it is still coming down up on Mount Spokane. And as you can see on your screen right here, they've received a pretty healthy amount of snow lately. You were up on Mount Spokane this weekend and said it was pretty good up there.
Oh my goodness, yes, and my quadriceps in that heavy powder, it was glorious. So yes, and it, boy, I almost took my breath away seeing that total there at Mount Spokane. Unfortunately, it's also falling on the roads. In fact, let's visit our friends in Coeur d'Alene. It is still coming down at a good clip at US 95 and Hanley. And as you can see, even on these treated roads, it is piling up there and making things fairly slick. This is the view at I-90 and Northwest Boulevard, still coming down at a very good rate after a white knuckle commute home where things were moving very, very slowly. Here is Rathdrum, US 95 and State Route 53. Sideways snow there and also sticking to the roadways, so not a good night to be out and about. We're zoomed in on our Doppler radar, and this is a very isolated area where we're seeing the snow. We have almost completely dried out in Spokane until you get further north around Meade, Suncrest. We're seeing some light shower activity. Still snowing in Rathdrum. Had a report from Wallace of a heavy snow shower there. It is all tapering off, however. But here's a look at the difference in the road temperatures, why we're seeing so much sticking here in Coeur d'Alene and Hayden and Rathdrum. Temperatures on the roadways are in the 20s, where temperatures are still above freezing for the most part in Spokane from downtown out toward Medical Lake. Now, all of these locations will be dropping down below freezing here soon as our skies clear. We're going to be starting the day off tomorrow in the teens and 20s. Here's a look at our morning lows. 21 in Spokane, 20 in Coeur d'Alene, in the teens in Hayden, Post Falls, Spirit Lake, as well as Deer Park. But we'll warm up quickly on the roadways because we are going to get some sunshine going. We'll start the day off with patchy fog, nothing particularly widespread, and we're late enough in the season that sunshine will have no trouble burning the fog off fairly early in the morning. We're heading up to a high of 39. 45 is our average high. We have a warming trend in our forecast. I'll tell you about that. And look out 8 to 14 days into mid-March to see what's happening there, if we're stuck in this late winter pattern or if spring is finally starting to show up, Derek.
That's a pretty good tease. All right, we have learned that the man involved in a standoff with Spokane police over the weekend has died. It happened at a retirement community in west central Spokane yesterday afternoon. Officers say a woman reported the man was trying to light the house on fire. The woman managed to escape, but the man locked himself in the bedroom while the living room burned. Fire crews put out the fire. When investigators entered the room, though, they found the man dead from what appeared to be a self-inflicted gunshot wound. As of right now, the medical examiner's office has not released that man's name. Well, the man accused of crashing into a Washington State Patrol cruiser and killing a 27-year-old trooper early Saturday morning in Snohomish County admitted to drinking 2 beers and smoking weed that night. That's according to new charging documents. Investigators say the 32-year-old appeared in court today, and the judge found probable cause for vehicular homicide and vehicular assault. He's now being held on $1 million bail. A consumer alert for Trader Joe's shoppers. 61,000 pounds of its chicken soup dumplings are recalled because some people found hard plastic from a permanent marker inside the food. The U.S. Department of Agriculture is urging people to throw away or return the item. The agency has not received any reports of illness or injuries. The first ever over-the-counter birth control pill approved in the U.S. is now being shipped to stores and pharmacies across the country.
To know that it's coming, I think, is a win for everybody.
The makers of Opill say it can be up to 98% effective at preventing pregnancy. It works as a mini pill using only the hormone progestin.
And our decades of experience and knowledge with progesterone to say Opill is safe and making it over the counter is going to improve access.
The suggested retail price is $19.99 for a 1-month supply or $50 for 3 months. Some of the pharmacies that have said they will carry it include CVS and Walgreens. We'll take a look at these photos of a 3-car pileup in North Spokane yesterday afternoon. It happened near Highway 2 and North Country Homes Road. Firefighters say one person needed to be extricated from their vehicle and suffered serious injuries. 4 other ambulances were required, but the fire department says those injuries were not serious. No word yet on what caused the crash. Still ahead here on 4 News Now, Selection Sunday is quickly approaching. Coming up in sports, the odds both the Zags and Cougs will make it to the tournament and where they could be seated. Stay with us.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Grins and Giggles Family Dentistry.
So what do you think about these?
We're going to take everything.
From design and products to removal and installation, Rebath is with you through every step of your remodel. Call us or visit rebath.com and save $1,500 off your complete bathroom remodel.
How do you keep performing at a high level when you're a man over 40? By taking Manpower. Manpower helps your body produce and conserve its own natural testosterone for a healthy sex life and positive mental attitude. Experience a vibrant, active life again with the energy and drive of a younger you. Manpower is the all-time top-selling product at Mother's Cupboard because it really works.
Mother's Cupboard, things that make you feel good.
So here it is, Northern Quest's best car ever.
Shotgun.
Anton already called it.
You can play a game of pig for it.
It's your funeral. Fine, but we're playing hippopotamus.
Play daily to win a brand new Mercedes-Benz, only at Northern Quest.
I just turned 37 and I found a lump. By the time that I had it checked out and was able to get in and see a doctor and all that, I was at stage 3. Part of the reason I think that I didn't go get it checked out right away is that I was really scared. When I got the call, it was gone. It was such a huge relief. Even if you don't feel that it's in you, that you have a lump or you have a reason to get checked, you are a woman, get checked.
So what do you think about these?
We're going to take everything.
From design and products to removal and installation, Rebath is with you through every step of your remodel. Call us or visit rebath.com and save $1,500 off your complete bathroom remodel.
The groom who wore the new Apple goggles to his own wedding. Next in Sun Edition, it's the new virtual reality headset. So what did his bride have to say about that?
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
Then, America's new obsession, the 24-hour watch as the nation awaits the hatching of 3 bald eagle eggs. Will they survive the blizzard? Watch the next in Sun Edition.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Inside Edition at 7.
All right, welcome back. Chris Crocker here now, and you were saying, hey, on Wednesday, we're going to see that bright orb in the sky once again. But for now, we're still dealing with some wet weather.
Yes, we do still have some snow showers in progress. And even as they taper off, we're left with icy roads and sidewalks. Here's the view right now in Sandpoint. This is at US 2 and Boyer, a place many of you frequent. And you can see the slush on the roads and the wet roads. Those wet roads will be freezing as our temperatures drop down into the low teens and 20s. We picked up a little over a half inch of snow at the airport in Spokane. And with this late season snow, we're doing pretty good season to date. We're definitely below average, but this is a La Nina year, so we would expect to be below average, but we're certainly making up for some lost time. And in the mountains, the news is improving. Our high temperature today was 38 degrees. That compares to an average high of 45. And we're going to stay with the below average temperatures through the next 2 to 3 days before finally we're back up around average. Want to point out our sunset time, another sign of spring there, 5:40 our sunset right now. Sunrise is at 6:24, so we're gaining on it. Here's a look at our temperature trend over the next 7 days. This black line right here is our average high, which is in the mid-40s. We're going to be in the 30s for the next couple, just a little bit warmer Thursday. Finally back up to average as we get into the weekend and into early next week. And it looks like that trend is going to continue. Here is the 8 to 14 day outlook for March 12th through the 18th. It's not in the deepest, darkest orange, but we haven't been in the orange in a while. So a trend toward at least average, if not above average temperatures. The really warm stuff is over in the western Great Lakes. Meanwhile, there's no real signal one way or the other about precipitation. We're in the gray with the wetter weather well to our east. So we'll see. We'll probably see at least some shower activity, and more likely in the form of rain than the snow that we have been dealing with. Our temperatures are even average. Here's a look at your planning forecast for tomorrow. A high of 39 degrees with partly sunny skies. Mostly sunny skies after some morning fog. 39 on Wednesday with sunshine, partly sunny Thursday and Friday. High of 45 on Friday. We're still going to have some very cool overnight lows down in the lower 20s for the next 3 to 4 nights. Then a little bit warmer for the weekend and wetter with a chance of showers Saturday and Sunday. The best chance of rain, however, holding off until next Monday, and it looks like that is mainly going to be in the form of valley rain and still some mountain snow left to be had. Derek.
All right, Chris, thanks so much. Well, Hollywood's biggest night is in just a few days. At this year's Oscars, a third of all nominees are women, and 19% come from underrepresented groups. ABC's Tim Pulliam has more.
Overall diversity for this year's Academy Awards is up over last year. 7 out of 20 nominees in the acting categories are Black, Latino, or Indigenous artists of color, and all of them are first-time nominees. Best Supporting Actress is the most diverse acting category. Danielle Brooks in The Color Purple.
See, my sister and her husband say I can live with them as long as I please. Now, I come here out of respect.
America Ferrera in Barbie.
You have to answer for men's bad behavior, which is insane, but if you point that out, you're accused of complaining.
And
we have Da'Vine Joy Randolph, who's probably one of the surest things of the night, winning supporting actress for her work in the dramedy The Holdovers.
I had you guys stuck with babysitting duty this year. How'd you manage that?
It could be a big moment for Lily Gladstone, the first Native American actress to be nominated for her leading role as Molly Kyle in Killers of the Flower Moon.
Indigenous stories that center Indigenous women clearly make a big splash when they're out there.
A historic milestone for Coleman Domingo and Jodie Foster, the first time 2 openly LGBTQ actors have been nominated for playing LGBTQ characters. Domingo with a nod for lead actor in Rustin, alongside fellow Black nominee Jeffrey Wright in American Fiction. Wright's co-star Sterling K. Brown receiving a nod for his supporting role.
This is something I have to be in because it is expanding the breadth of Black stories.
This is the first year the Academy's representation and inclusion standards kicked in for the Best Film category. The new standards aim to encourage equitable representation on and off screen. According to the Academy, a third of all nominees this year are women, 19% from underrepresented groups, and 4 of the 10 Best Picture nominees are at least partially not in English. But many believe diversity and inclusion are still lagging in Hollywood.
They are far
from achieving the goal of the kind of diversity that needs to be part of the Oscars and the filmmaking community in general. More movies being made by more different types of people, more movies being celebrated at things like the Oscars. That's a long road still to go.
Tim Pulliam, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Well, the Washington State Cougars will be headed back to the NCAA tournament for the first time in 16 years. Coming up in sports, hear from a legendary former head coach on how impressed he is with this current squad.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Residential Home Solutions is excited to announce our Win 24 in 24. You heard that right. Win 24,000 in new windows and entry doors installed by our truly local company. To qualify, you must meet the following: be a homeowner and live in our region. No purchase is necessary to enter, and we provide free estimates to show what you could win. Go to residentialhs.com to enter or call 892-6460. Win 24 in 24 with Residential Home Solutions. Home improvements, custom fit for life.
It's all about the person that's leaving this world, but it's equally about the family. We don't know how to handle certain situations, and hospice can come in and train us.
Takes a special person.
Yeah, I said, you are amazing at what you do. And she said, this is a calling, and I love what I do.
To learn how you can join the Hospice of Spokane team, visit hospiceofspokane.org.
Grow your love for the outdoors at the 62nd Annual Bighorn Show, March 14th to 17th at the Spokane County Fairgrounds, presented by Lithia Motors. There's something for everyone in the family at the Bighorn Show. Visit and shop hundreds of vendors and exhibitors. Check out the Trophy Territory Annual Exhibition. Go fishing with the kids at Les Schwab Fishing World. Enjoy live music. You will find it all at this year's Bighorn Show. This event is produced by Inland Northwest Wildlife Council. Big thanks to Brett's RV and Marine, Les Schwab, and many more. Get your tickets and more details at bighornshow.com.
Well, I think the great thing about BECU is we really go out of our way to try to help our members live their best financial lives. When you hear the successes and see people say, when I started here, I came in and I worked with one of your people and they totally turned my whole life around. I was able to purchase a home, send my kids to school, things that I never thought I'd be able to do. Those are success stories. Those are the things we love to hear from our members, being able to help them just live their best financial lives. We love being a part of where we live.
4 News Now is brought to you by End the Violence.
Well, after months of waiting, we've finally made it to March, and Selection Sunday is less than 2 weeks away. This year's NCAA tournament could be featuring a lot of teams from our region. Alice Crescenti joins us with more after a big weekend for WSU, Gonzaga, and Eastern.
At this point, we know the Washington State Cougars are headed to the NCAA tournament. The only matters that need to be settled are the seeding implications and the Pac-12 championship down in Vegas next week. And the Cougs stayed in the running for the conference regular season title after sweeping the Los Angeles schools over the weekend. And today, they saw a slight bump in the latest AP Top 25 poll, coming in at number 18. That's up 1 spot from last week. Headed into the final week of the regular season, the team also has an opportunity to break the program record for conference wins in a season, as head coach Kyle Smith calls this the maturation of the program.
Everyone thinks, oh, you play at home, it's easy to win. So sometimes there's more pressure. You have the advantages, but they came in and popped us. It was 16-4 and making shots, and sometimes coach plenty of teams where they just get really tight and like, oh, we're supposed to win. What's going on here? And that wasn't the case at all. We just kept battling back and got that done amazingly.
Now, we've mentioned it plenty of times already, but this Cougars team will be the first since that 2008 Sweet 16 squad to make the NCAA tournament. Of course, they were led by then head coach Tony Bennett, who went on to lead the Virginia Cavaliers to a national title in 2019. But even though 15 years have passed since Bennett left Pullman, he's kept his eye on this team and is impressed with what they've accomplished already.
But obviously, Washington State is near and dear to my heart, and to see them have this kind of success in basketball when
you know, they kind of got left behind in this whole reshuffle, which is really unfortunate. But what they've done this year, it's a credit to Coach Smith, Kyle Smith, who's been there, and those young men. It's a place where there's not a lot of bells and whistles. It's just you're there because you love the school, you want to be a part of a good basketball team, and an underdog mentality.
Now, this time last week, we weren't sure if the Gonzaga Bulldogs field, place inside the field of 68 was safe. But after an impressive last couple of games, it seems like they're going to be headed to a 25th straight NCAA tournament. On Saturday night, the Zags defeated rival St. Mary's 70-57 to capture their third Quad 1 win in the last month and improve to 24-6 on the season. And today, they made quite the leap in the AP poll. They're up to number 19 in the country. Now, the team won't play again for a week until the WCC tournament semifinals. They haven't lost down in Las Vegas in that tournament since 2019. And the Eastern Washington Eagles aren't in any of the latest polls or receiving votes, but they are just a few wins away from the big dance. After clinching the Big Sky regular season championship a week ago, they will go to Boise as the #1 seed, but they still got one more game to go as they're going to travel down to California tonight to take on Sacramento State. And the Eastern Washington women also have their regular season finale tonight. They host Sac State. That game is currently ongoing, and we will have the highlights for you on Nightside. Derek, I'll send it back to you.
All right, Alex, thanks so much. Here's a look at ABC's primetime lineup tonight as we head to another break.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Anything else?
Yeah, can I get some napkins?
Sure. That'll be $1.
For a napkin?
Ridiculous, right? You know what else doesn't make sense? Some people are still paying for their checking accounts. Some places it's $12 a month. At P1FCU, we believe some things should just be free. Open your Ascend checking with tons of great benefits at p1fcu.org/free.
When it comes to remodeling your bath, there's fact and there's fiction. Fiction, it's too expensive to remodel your bath. Fact, with Bathfitter's hundreds of design options, you'll get the bath you want to fit your budget. Fiction, bath remodels take forever and tear the house apart. Fact, Bathfitter installation takes just 1 day to fit your schedule. Get the bath that fits you. Bathfitter, it just fits. Go to bathfitter.com to book your free consultation.
Join us in celebrating Women in Construction Week, March 3rd through 9th. WIC Week celebrates and honors the women who have made significant contributions to the construction industry while inspiring others to join this fulfilling journey, like these remarkable ladies.
We stand strong, breaking barriers and building dreams.
Together, we shape the future of construction.
Our passions build the structures that last a lifetime.
We are Women in Construction.
WIC Week is sponsored locally by these fine companies.
Welcome to Move Fitness.
Let's go.
I really got the feeling today that everything is going my way. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Sign up now with no enrollment fee. Move Fitness.
Let's go.
Hi, I'm Robert Sacre. You may know me from my basketball career. But what you don't know is I'm a father of 4, and life can get pretty chaotic. So that's why I'm getting a vasectomy at North Idaho Urology, so I can finally sit back and enjoy the madness.
Vasectomy season is back. Scheduled today in North Idaho Urology.
4 News Now is brought to you by Mainstream Electric Heating, Cooling, Plumbing.
Coming up tonight on Nightside, a former Pasco police officer has been sentenced for a decades-old Spokane murder case. The powerful message her daughters had for her killer, vowing they will never be victims again.
Snow's tapering off a little bit in Coeur d'Alene. Looks better there at US 95 and Hanley, but it is really snowing in Rathdrum right now. US 95 and State Route 53. These snow showers are slowly tapering off. We're dry in Spokane right now and should stay dry.
And our Hunter Bertram, who just came back from Coeur d'Alene, said it was almost like when he hit state line, it started getting better. So, sorry, Idaho.
Yeah.
We'll see you tonight at 11.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.